If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. We welcome you to today's show and ask those of you who have not subscribed to please subscribe to our YouTube channel as we continue to expose the satanic Illuminati agenda. Today's show, I want to expose another Illuminati symbol, which is the monarch butterfly. You will see musicians wearing the butterfly and actors on their clothing. You'll see them on album covers. You'll see the butterfly, even them dressed as butterflies, wearing wings during performances. You also see the butterfly tattoo on their bodies. This isn't because everybody just loves butterflies and butterflies are a great thing. Okay, in fact, this is a mark of the Illuminati. This goes back to MKUltra mind control programming, which the CIA operated, which began in 1953. Our government has even admitted to doing this MKUltra mind control programming under the umbrella of our CIA. But one of the many different programs that they ran while they were doing the MKUltra mind control programming was called Monarch, and it was named after the monarch butterfly because the monarch butterfly learns where it was born and it passes this knowledge via genetics onto its offspring, so from generation to generation. Okay, this is one of the key animals that tips scientists off that knowledge could be passed genetically, and then Monarch program is based upon Illuminati and Nazi goals to create a master race in part through genetics, which we've talked about, the superhuman race in which they want to create. They feel that if knowledge can be passed genetically, which it is, then it's important that parents can be found that can pass the correct knowledge onto those victims selected for Monarch mind control. The primary important factor for the trauma-based mind control is the ability to disassociate. Under Project Monarch, victims were usually young children who were subjected to intense trauma, inflicted to the point in which their minds would disassociate from the experience. And then from that disassociation, it causes a form of multiple personality disorder, which allows the programmer, or the handler, so to speak, to mold these disassociated minds into new controllable personalities, which is what they do with a lot of these musicians. You see them even admit that they have alters. We hear Nicki Minaj talk about Roman. You hear Beyonce talk about Sasha Fierce. Venus Williams openly talks about having an alter. And like I've said in many of these videos, we look at it and we laugh and we say, oh, they're just being artistic and crazy. They're not. They're letting you know that they are victims of personality disorder because they are under MKUltra mind control programming, specifically Project Monarch. There are other specific mind control programs. There's the Mickey Mouse programming. There's many different ones. But Project Monarch involves triggers, things that trigger these people to go into their alter personalities. You've heard of this in movies such as The Bourne Identity or things like that, where they have mind control victims, MKUltra mind control victims that have alters that could be turned into program serial killers or whatever they want them to be. Sex slaves usually is what is associated with Monarch programming in Hollywood, because these women and these men are sex slaves for their handlers. They're sexually abused, okay? But also keep in mind, a lot of these people aren't just born into this. They willingly sign a blood contract, and this is part of what they go through, what they're asking for when they decide that they want to sell their soul for fame and fortune. Now, the handler can trigger certain parts of mind control through film, through trigger words. Films like The Wizard of Oz, Alice in Wonderland are all movies that were associated with the Monarch programming. There would be things in those movies that would set triggers off for programmed slaves. I know for some people it's hard to believe that this is something that actually could be done, but you have to realize that your brain is like a blank computer when you're born. Okay, and they get these kids at a young age, And they put them through traumatic experiences where they lock them in a cage, or they taser them, or they do all sorts of different programming with them, okay, so that they can build these alters, so that their brain can disassociate and they can create their own mind control slaves. You'll see a lot of these celebrities that have new babies, that the babies, you never really see them out and about with their babies. They're just hidden. The baby's like nowhere to be found, right? They have a newborn and you don't see it till it's 5 or 6 years old, because it's going through this programming. It's underground. It's getting taught and trained the way that they need it to be taught and trained. And then these children grow up to become famous, like Will Smith's children. You'll see it with Kanye's children, I'm sure, because of the Kardashian-Kanye association with the satanic Illuminati. But you'll see the butterfly always worn, and you'll see it all over the place. Not just on clothing, but the tattoos, which are marks on their bodies, letting you know that they are under Monarch programming. It's like getting a barcode tattooed on you. But these children are raised in the occult. They're raised at a young age to be. They're told by them that they're elite, that they're part of a secret, society, that they're an elite family, and then they're awarded with great things like great trips and money and all the things they possibly can want. But then they also do trauma-based mind control on them to keep them in fear, to keep them, at bay, so that they can handle them and create these altars and build these walls within their minds. If you really want to study mind control, there's a lot of books out there on it. There's a lot of books on Monarch programming and other programming. But it was all created under the front of our CIA, which openly admitted to doing this. You could hear interviews with Bill Clinton where he says, we regret doing it, even though Bill Clinton was a part of it, and he has sex slaves, and he's a handler for many people. But even the fact that it's out there in the open should be a wake-up call for people to say, wow, this was going on. You could really do this to people. And then they claim, well, we've stopped. We don't do it anymore. Oh, okay. So they saw the results of what it did, and it worked. And they realized that they could build a superhuman race through mind control to do whatever they want and to live the way they want them to live and believe what they want them to believe and be sex slaves for them and be program killers for them and all of these things the CIA found out. Of course, thanks to the Nazis who came over here, who were performing this stuff over in Nazi Germany. But our President Truman, a very proud 33rd degree Freemason Satan occultist, created Operation Paperclip. So we brought all those Nazi scientists who were performing those awful, disgusting tests over in Nazi Germany over to America, so they could perform these tests on American civilians, homeless people, criminals, that they would make deals with them to be a part of this secret, covert CIA operation so they wouldn't have to spend time in jail. Homeless people, they would just pick up off the streets. They would kidnap children and perform these tests on them. We talked about the child sex trafficking and all of the missing children over the years that have just vanished, who become part of this programming. So this is what's going on, and you'll see this symbol all over the place. The butterfly is one of the most commonly seen symbols. You'll see it more than the pyramid for the most part. You're more likely to see a butterfly. It's a symbol. These people aren't just obsessed with butterflies. Okay, they're telling you, they're marked. They're telling you what they've been under, what they're going through, the programming that they're a part of. Their handlers have them wear those symbols. They also wear the symbols on their own because they're trained to, and they want to, and they want to flash it. But don't believe it's a coincidence. I mean, there's so many of these celebrities that wear the butterfly, men and women. So now you know a little bit about it and the mind control programming that they're under. You could look deeper into it. I try to keep these videos shorter. I'm not going to do I could do a 10-hour video probably on MK Ultra mind control programming, but there's documentaries on it you could watch. It's deep stuff, and it's real, and it's still going on today. And these children who are born into these elitist families are put through it, and these Hollywood celebrities put their children through it as they continue to try to breed this genetic superhuman race, like I said, because the monarch butterfly has a memory instilled in it through genetics. They learn that from the actual monarch butterfly. So this is just another symbol exposed. If you see it, the person is likely a MK Ultra mind control slave. If you see it on somebody at the grocery store, it is likely they are not. They might just actually like butterflies. But with celebrities and people in the mainstream, when you see them do performances with the butterfly wings, or they have butterflies drawings on their cheeks or on their shirts or on their album covers, they are indeed a part of MK Ultra Mind Control Programming Project Monarch. Keep an eye out for it. I thank you for listening to today's show. Let's continue to be alert and aware. Let's see these symbols. Start letting our own brains unplug from this matrix that they've created, this false reality that we live in. And through the power of the Holy Spirit, we can all do that. We can all wake up from this. Okay, that Jesus Christ is the truth, the way, and the life. And he is the only truth in this world. Everything else they've created is a lie that we've all been subjected to believe as truth. When in reality, our whole entire world and existence, other than Jesus Christ, has been fabricated and created by them to turn us into slaves for them, to turn us into disobedient children of God, to turn us away from him, into worshiping the Antichrist, the coming of the Antichrist, into worshiping Satan. That is what they are doing, and we have to stay strong. And we have the one weapon that they don't have, and that's the Holy Spirit. So all this garbage witchcraft that they perform, all of these spells that they perform, it cannot fight the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit can destroy all of it. But that's the knowledge that you have to have. You have to have faith in Jesus Christ. You have to keep the Holy Spirit close to you. Constantly pray to the Holy Spirit. Jesus talks about the Holy Spirit and how important the Holy Spirit is. The Holy Spirit is our weapon against them. So keep praying. God bless all of you. I thank you so much for listening to the show. I thank you for subscribing to the channel. Peace be with all of you. God bless.